What's up, interweb? Raikkonen here, and welcome to my team analysis video for PPL Week 7 against the Eterna City Envers in Season 2 Division 1. I forgot the numbers. Hey ho, what you're gonna do. So you may notice this is a little bit different to normal. Normally it's just my full face cam and I have all the graphics come up and all that stuff in my team analysis videos, but as of late I just haven't had the motivation or the time to be able to commit to doing like a full-fledged video like that. That's why I'm still having issues getting my PPL Week 6 up. So I just don't have the motivation right now to actually edit the thing, because like it takes a while to get all the graphics done and all that stuff. Like I opened my video editing software to attempt to edit, and I opened up my video editing software, imported all the files I needed, and then my mind just went, nah, you don't want to edit this, do you? And it's very hard to combat that. It's very hard to try and override my brain when it just really doesn't want to do things. So I'm going to try and keep it simple, probably with the graphics for the matches, and for the team analysis it's just going to be me and the capture card right now, and I'm just going to show you what ones I'm bringing. No graphics, no fancy stuff, basically. Just try and keep it simple, just so I can actually get videos up, because I'd much rather get a lower quality video up than no video at all, because that would suck to not have my PPL matches up. So as I said, this week we're playing NecroStevo, coach of the Eterna City Enders, and they've also had a mixed bag of results in the season so far. So this should be a very, very close game. Now, the Nidoqueens Park Rangers, my team that I can potentially bring to this match that I'll probably throw on the screen somewhere, is Hydreigon, Mandibuzz, Mamoswine, Whimsicott, Tentacruel, Infinite, Rotomo, Azelf, and Steelix. That is the Nidoqueens Park Rangers, that is my team, and let's take a look at the potential ones that NecroStevo can be bringing against us. His potential ones are Megalopony, Tyranitar, Cofagrigus, Florges, Toxicroak, Reuniclus, Garchomp, Kabutops, and Stoutland. Now, Megalopony, huge threat. Tyranitar is a bit of a beast. Cofagrigus is annoying because of the mummy ability, and it's just bulky as all hell. Florges, again, bulky as all hell, annoying to take out. Toxicroak has a very powerful poison stab to deal with like fairies and stuff. And priority and sucker punch is, you know, not ideal for me. Reuniclus is a goddamn problem because my team is very, very quick. His is kinda slow, other than, you know, Megalopony. So Trick Room is an issue, and Reuniclus is one of the best setters of Trick Room, so that's annoying, and it's also incredibly powerful. Garchomp is a transfer he made in the latest transfer window. By the way, there was a transfer window, we didn't do anything. I wanted to keep my team as is. But NecroStevo actually traded in Garchomp. He managed to get in Garchomp, and he traded in Leavanny and Noivern for it. Which was annoying because for the first time in the season, I'd actually team built before the transfer window, and now I remember why I don't do that. Because I team built for Noivern and Leavanny, and then he got in Garchomp, and I was like, great! I need to change my entire team. Fantastic. And it messed up all the speed creeping that I'd done and all that stuff, so that was a bit annoying. He also can potentially bring Kabutops and Stoutland. Stoutland combined with Tyranitar is scary as a Sand Rush sweeper, and Kabutops is his only form of hazard removal, which is nice. So hazards could potentially kind of screw him up. But it's also a bit of a beast if he brings an offensive one just in general. He could potentially be bringing Rain with the likes of Toxicroak and Kabutops because they do benefit from it, so who knows? He could also be bringing Sandvale Garchomp, which is really, really annoying to pair with that Tyranitar and the Sandrush Stoutland. So that's a bit annoying if he does, but we shall see, we shall see. So his team is very, very scary, and I'd have to try and prep accordingly. He does have a bit of a fighting weakness, which is nice. Other than Cofagrigus, he does have a bit of a fighting weakness with Megalopony, Tyranitar, Kabutops, and Stoutland. Not only that, my fighting type, being Infinite, also gets coverage to hit a lot of other things. So I knew I wanted to bring Infinite for this one. I wasn't quite sure of the set, but I knew I wanted to bring it in some way, shape, or form. And I also knew I had to bring Mandibuzz. It was my only answer to Megalopony. It was literally the only thing I have to try and take down a Megalopony, so had to do it. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the team I am bringing against NecroStevo and the Eterna City Enders. So, the first one on this team, as I said, I knew I was bringing Mandibuzz. So, this is Lightyear the Mandibuzz. Would help if I actually remembered the EV spreads, because I'm gonna forget, and now I'm gonna have to look like an idiot and try and look it up, because I'm a fool. I believe this is just max physical defense. with Bold Nature, Rocky Helmet, Roost Toxic, Air Slash, and Defog. Now this guy is basically just here to take a hit or two from Megalopony, make it so it takes some Rocky Helmet recoil, so it's in range to die from a Mach Punch from Infernape. Spoilers, I'm bringing Mach Punch Infernape. That's basically what this Mandibuzz is here to do, just take hits from Megalopony. Plus, you know, it can take physical hits from basically the entire team. If he brings an offensive Garchomp, that's a little bit of an issue, because, you know, it can kind of run riot on my team. Especially Mandibuzz with the likes of Stone Edge, but hopefully I can take, like, one, I think, and, you know, hopefully deal with it that way. Oh, it's not quite physical defensive. I've just got the calcs up. I have max HP, 244 in defense, and 12 in speed. The reason I have 12 in speed is to, in case he wanted to speed creep my Mandibuzz with Florges, which is very possible because Florges can, you know, do a number on Mandibuzz. If he wanted to speed creep Florges, if he wanted to speed creep Mandibuzz with his Florges, then I outspeed him. I speed crept the speed creep. It's the way to do it, ladies and gents. So if he was 1 point higher than an uninvested Mandibuzz, I'm 1 point higher than that 1 point higher Florges, basically. Just so I can get a Toxic off against that thing, because that would be nice. If it comes down to it, I'm probably not going to be staying in against it, but if it comes down to it, I can get a Toxic off against that thing as like a last-ditch effort, which would be nice. I just have Roost to try and get HP back. Air Slash because it hits the likes of Megalopony, it hits the likes of Toxicroak, which is nice. And just for a little bit of chip damage, and you know, it's stab. So the reason I have Air Slash over because I didn't want Brave Bird, I didn't want Recoil, because you know that would really stop Mandibuzz from doing what Megalopony. It would stop it from taking hits from Megalopony as well. And he can actually afford to run an Adamant Megalopony this week because of speed tiers. He can run Adamant Megalopony, and he can still outspeed my entire team, even if my fastest Mon, that being Whimsicott, is max speed Timid. He still outspeeds with an Adamant Megalopony, so he's going to be doing some huge amount of damage in this match. But we'll have to see how it goes. So, Lighty the Mandibuzz, physically defensive, there to take hits from Megalopony, leave it within range to die from a Mach Punch from Infernape. Speaking of Infernape, the second one on this team is Fire Monkey the Infernape, and this guy is a bit of a beast this week, because this Infernape is rocking with Iron Fist, holding a Life Orb, 44 in HP, max attack, and 212 in speed, with a Jolly Nature, Mach Punch, Power Up Punch, Fire Punch, and Gunk Shot. So, Mach Punch is therefore priority for the Megalopony, because like I said, it outspeeds, but it does a huge amount of damage to it, and with a couple of Rocky Helmet damages, it will be in range from a Mach Punch, which is nice. As I said, he does have a bit of a fighting weakness, so if I can exploit that with Power Up Punch, that'd be great. If I can get a Power Up Punch off against something that's gonna go down anyway, I'll be at +1, and then Megalopony is gonna be in range no matter what, so that'll be nice. I also have Fire Punch because it hits the likes of a Dry Skin Toxicroak that he might bring. It OHKOs that guy, not even at +1, that's just a normal Fire Punch. Although I think I'm going to have to redo the calcs, because originally I had Adamant, but then he drafted in Garchomp and I couldn't run Adamant anymore and I was sad. But the Fire Punch is obviously stab, my hardest hitting move, and it, as I said, hits the likes of Toxicroak because of Dry Skin, plus it just does good damage. Also have Gunk Shot for Florges, because Florges is an issue. A couple of things stop me, Cofagrugus being one of them. I can't really do too much to it, honestly. Plus, if I do hit it with a move, it's going to get rid of my Iron Fist, which is no bueno. Reuniclus can take a hit or two, and Garchomp can, of course, take a hit as well. So I do need to watch out for that. I can also hit Kabutops and Stoutland with Mach Punches and Power Up Punches, especially if Stoutland is out of control Sandra Sweeper. I can come in and Mach Punch that thing in the face and do a huge amount of damage, and hopefully it'll be in range to die from it at the time it's at, basically. So that's why I have Fire Monkey the Infinite. Potentially, if I can get a Power Up Punch off against something, that'll be nice. And Mach Punches just kind of run through his team a little bit. And anything that I can't Mach Punch, I can Fire Punch anyway. So yeah, that's what Infinite's there for. Potentially set up on something with a Power Up Punch and do a huge amount of damage. So the next one on the team after Fire Monkey the Infernape is 3,000 Years Will the Azelf, making his return with holding the Assault Vest with 172 in HP, 252 in special defense, and 84 in speed with a careful nature. Knockoff, U-turn, Zen Headbutt, and Iron Tail. Now, this Azelf. Okay, so Reuniclus is a goddamn problem. Reuniclus kind of runs through my team. Because I'm bringing a physically defensive Mandibuzz, he can 2-hit KO me with a Focus Blast. If he's Life Orb, max special attack, modest, Life Orb. Which is very possible, because Magic Guard Life Orb is a thing. So he can do a huge amount of damage with Focus Blast. Obviously that means that he is potentially going to be... And I don't have much to hit him back. I don't have Dark Stab on Mandibuzz, so I needed a different way to deal with it. And I needed an answer to this Reuniclus. The only thing I really have to try and take the Psychic Stab is Azelf, other than, you know, unreliable switch-ins in the forms of Hydreigon and Mandibuzz, because, you know, Dazzling Gleam is a thing I think it gets. If it doesn't, it hits Hydreigon with Focus Blast and can 2-hit KO Mandibuzz with Focus Blast, so that's irrelevant. So I needed a way to deal with it, and Assault Vest Azelf seemed like the best option. Now, a Signal Beam from a max special attack modest Life Orb Reuniclus will 2-hit KO this Azelf. That's exactly what I have the special defense investment for. The special defense and HP investment, I have just enough to live 2 Signal Beams from this Reuniclus, and also I have 84 speed, which is enough speed to outspeed, I believe, Toxicroak? I might be wrong with that. It might be Kabutops or Stoutland. I can't remember. But I think it might be Toxicroak. Enough speed to outspeed Toxicroak. I think. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to check it. But, yeah, it worked out perfectly with just enough speed to outspeed the thing I'm trying to outspeed, which I'll have to look up. And, yeah, just enough HP and special defense investment to live 2 Signal Beams from a Life Orb Reuniclus, which is nice. So Knockoff, get rid of items, also hits the Reuniclus super effectively. U-turn for a bit of switch initiative. Zen Headbutt hits the likes of Toxicroak and Mega Lopunny. And I can take 1 hit from Mega Lopunny at the very least, which is nice. And it's also stab, so you know, stab damage. Also have Iron Tail for the Florges, because otherwise I cannot do a damn thing to it. And if I may be switching in Azelf to try and take a special hit from Florges, because he doesn't have that many special attackers. All he has really as his special presence is Reuniclus and Florges, really. And Florges isn't the hardest hitting thing. You can also have Cofagrigus, again, not the hardest hitting thing. I can eat up Shadow Balls from that thing, no problem. But other than that, he kind of just has Reuniclus. That's about it. Unless he brings like a special Garchomp or something like that. There's not much he can do on the special side. Or a special Tyranitar. That's possible. But there's not too much he can do otherwise. So I wanted to have that Iron Tail to try and hit that Florges. If I'm switched into it, I want to be able to reply with some good damage. I'm very wary of getting Pursuit Trapped by Tyranitar, so that's the main reason I have U-turn. If I think he's going to switch, I'm definitely going to U-turn, because there's no way I'm staying in. I'm not just going to go for a knockoff hoping to get rid of an item, because then I'd probably get Pursuit Trapped by Tyranitar and just die. So definitely going to be U-turning a lot more than knockoffing in this game. So I just hope I don't get Pursuit Trapped, basically. It'd be nice if he doesn't bring Tyranitar. That would be lovely. So that is 3,000 Years Will, the Azelf. Just there to try and take a few special hits and reply in kind with some nice damage. The next mod on this team is Pokinope the Mamoswine, holding the Muscle Band with Thick Fat, with max attack, 4 in defense, and max speed, Jolly. Ice Shard, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, and Knockoff. That's his moveset. So, Muscle Band. I need a bit of extra power without being Life Orbed, basically. I need the extra power without being Life Orb because I want to potentially, depending what happens, I may lead with Mamoswine and bluff the Focus Sash lead, potentially, maybe, perhaps, who knows, as going for Rock's first turn. I could also bluff the Choice Item, potentially with the Muscle Band, which I'm hoping to do. As you can see, I don't have very strong Ice Stab, I only have Ice Shard as my Ice move of choice. because it hits the likes of Garchomp. He did originally have Noivern, which it O-code. It does a huge amount of damage to Garchomp, plus it's nice against things like Mega Lopunny, and just priority in general, which is nice, again, for things like the Stoutland that's getting out of control, things like that. So, I don't really see a need for Ice Stab. It doesn't really hit too much of his team. Other than that Garchomp, it doesn't hit anything super effectively, and Ice Shard still does a huge amount of damage as it is. Earthquake hits quite a few things. It hits Tyranitar and Toxicroak and Kabutops, which is nice. Plus, he doesn't have a flying type anymore. He traded in Noivern, so he doesn't have a flying type. So it hits his whole team, which is nice. And it can do a huge amount of damage. Stealth Rock, as I said, his only hazard removal is Kabutops, which does not want to be switching into a Mamoswine to get rid of them, because I can Earthquake that thing in the face. So it's going to be nice to get up rocks. I also have Knockoff to try and do a bit more damage to the likes of Cofagrigus and Reuniclus. Obviously, that knockoff to Cofagrigus is not going to be doing much because it's a Cofagrigus. I'm also half expecting the Colbur Berry on either Cofagrigus or Reuniclus, or both, because I have a Hydreigon that could potentially Dark Pulse them. So, it's not going to be doing too much, but if I can get rid of that Colbur Berry, that'd be nice. So, that's the reason I have Knockoff, plus it's just nice to get rid of items once more. As I said, I have Azelf with the same job, just trying to get rid of items. Muscle Band means I do a little bit more damage, which is nice. I wanted Muscle Band over Expert Belt because, like I said, Earthquake, it hits Tyranitar, Toxicroak, and Kabutops super effectively, but it hits his whole team neutrally. So I wanted to be able to have a little bit of extra power in every hit, rather than just the super effective ones. I'd rather have a little bit more power in every hit than a lot more power in some, basically. So that's the reason I have Muscle Band, plus, you know, bit of bluffing shenanigans. Who knows what can happen. I have Max Speed Jolly because, at the very least, I am going to be speed tying with a Max Speed Stoutland or a Max Speed Kabutops. At the very least, I'm going to be speed tying, and I'm guaranteed to outspeed Max Speed Florges, Max Speed Tyranitar, and, you know, Reuniclus and Cofagrigus, I guess. But I wanted, at the very least, to speed tie with the likes of an offensive Kabutops or an offensive Stoutland. So, if that Stoutland isn't in the sand, that'd be great. So yeah, that's basically the reason I have that, because at the very least I want to be speed tying. So that's poking up the Mamoswine. Fifth Mon, penultimate Mon on this team. Speaking of bluffing shenanigans with the Muscle Band, the fifth Mon on this team is Shield the Hydreigon, holding the Wise Glasses. With Levitate, of course, with 100 EVs in attack, 252 in special attack, and 156 in speed, with a naive nature, that's plus speed minus special defense. With Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, Dark Pulse, and Superpower. Now, as I said, bluffing shenanigans with the Wise Glasses gives me a bit of extra power in my special hits, but without taking life or recoil, because that's nice. And it also means he may not be expecting me to pack the Superpower. He may expect me to be Scarfed or something like that. Draco Meteor does a number on his team, as it does with most teams. You know, it hits everything neutrally or super effectively other than Florges, and can do a huge amount of damage because it's a goddamn Draco Meteor. I have Flash Cannon to hit incoming Florges if he wants to switch that in. It's not going to be doing a huge amount of damage because it's a Florges, damn it, but it will be doing a nice chunk, which is nice. I have Dark Pulse to hit the likes of Cofagrigus and Reuniclus. It's probably the hardest hitting move I have for those two. So yeah, that's the most amount of damage I can do, plus it's stab, without getting the special attack drops if I have to resort to that. And I have Superpower for the likes of Tyranitar, and of course Mega Lopunny if I don't want to get the special attack drops. Unlikely I'm going to be using it against Mega Lopunny though, because it outspeeds me, and it also lowers my defense, so unlikely. Yeah, but he's just basically a beast, bit of bluffing with the Wise Glasses, gives me a bit of extra special attack power, and that attack investment, I believe I have a 68.8% chance to OHKO a max HP Tyranitar, so that's nice. Of course, if that's not Choppleberry, which it very well could be to take the likes of a Mach Punch from Infinite, who knows, but again, if I can pop that Choppleberry, that'd be nice. And yeah, it's just there to... I'm hoping the Superpower is a bit of a surprise, because of course in the sand that Tyranitar is going to be having increased special defense, and he may think he can take a hit, because he can. He can take a Flash Cannon very, very easily. And then, yeah, I can just pop him with a superpower, which would be nice. So that shield the Hydreigon there to do a bit of huge damage, preferably. I have just enough speed investment to outspeed a max speed Toxicroak, I believe. Yeah, max speed Toxicroak. So, obviously I resist the Sucker Punch. He can Drain Punch me when we like, but I will kill him with a Draco Meteor beforehand. So that's nice. As long as he's not Assault Vest, hopefully. So, that shield the Hydreigon. The fifth and final mon on this team is going to be LittleVMills, the Rotom, holding the Choice Scarf, with Levitate, of course, with 4 in HP, max special attack, and max speed, Timid. Yep. Doing that again, and he has Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Leaf Storm, and Hidden Power Ice. So, originally, before this transfer window, I wanted Rotom for absolute certain because he didn't have a ground type and I could Volt Switch over his entire team, which is nice. But then he drafted in Garchomp and I was like, ah, that's an issue, now he has a ground type. I still wanted to bring Scarf Rotom though because I feel like it can do a lot against his team. As I said, the only electric resist he has on his team is Garchomp, which is immune to it. That's it. So I can get off neutral Volt Switches and Thunderbolts over his entire team, not to mention Leaf Storm hits the likes of Tyranitar, it hits Kabutops, which is nice, and of course the Volt Switch and T-Bolt will also hit the Kabutops too, but that's besides the point. I'm just going to be able to get some nice damage off on his team, some nice chip damage here and there. Hidden Power Ice is, of course, for the Garchomp. It may be switching in to take said Volt Switch or Thunderbolt or thing of that nature. So I can just pop it with a Hidden Power Ice. It's going to do a huge amount of damage, and as long as that Garchomp isn't scarfed, I'll be outspeeding the next turn, and I will take it out with 2, basically. As long as he's not Sand Veiling in the sand, because that'll be annoying. So that's basically all this Rotom is there for. I'm hoping with the combination of Stealth Rocks and the Volt Switching shenanigans, I'll just be able to wear his team down to the point where Fire Monkey the Infinite can come in, Power Up Punch on something, and just Mach Punch his way to victory. Or Fire Punch, or Gunk Shot, or other attacking move from one of my other mons. But that is the team. I hope you guys are excited for this. And I shall see you guys in the match. Links, of course, will be in the description to Necro. Make sure to go and check him out. And shout out to Erik, Ashton, Akai for genning my team for this week. I'm still trying to get used to the new genning method. Haven't quite got it down yet. So thank you, Erik, for genning my team this week. Very much appreciated. And yeah, I shall see you guys whenever I get the matchup. I don't know when that's going to be. You know, motivation, energy, things. So I'll see you guys in the match whenever it may be. I'm going to be battling him in a few hours, I think. But I'll see you guys in the match whenever it's uploaded. I hope you guys enjoy this team, and you're looking forward to the match. So I'll see you guys then. Toodaloo.